Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on a little bell on side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now today's video is all about student visa. Now obviously there has been border opened up back in December 2021 and there has been a change of government and knowingly that there's potential opening up for a migration gateway for people wanting to come to Australia. Obviously, one of the big efforts here and the category that people are seeking for will be the skilled migrant. Now, how do you become a skilled migrant if you have no idea? Is perhaps to become an international student coming to Australia and study there. Now, in this video, we would like to discuss a lot of common questions, and a lot of people come to Australia. First of all, they plan ahead. They're thinking about what to study. Well, if you are only a high school graduate, that's fine. But, you know, there's a lot of people come to Australia and they study a course and then suddenly they scratch their faces and head and then they go, oh, perhaps this is not the profession or trades that I want. And I want to change course. Well, yes, you can change course, but there is a policy and regulation in place. Now, in this video, I would like to discuss if you are thinking about changing your courses, is that possible? Would it jeopardize my visa here? So what we're going to discuss in this video for you, and I'm going to pick the University of Griffith University as a sample of how those policy may affect you. Now, first of all, let's have a look what the visa condition that might embedded in your student visa. So let's check that out. Now, this web page is actually very useful. What you need to do is you go to Google, you punch in Home Affairs space check visa detail and conditions as a whole phrase there, and you should be able to find yourself in this web page within the immigration website or Department of Home Affairs website. Now it's a very handy search engine here, so obviously whatever the visa category that you wanted to search for, their visa conditions, you punch the numbers in and obviously then you will be able to find them. So what I'm gonna demonstrate, obviously we're talking about student visa, so I punch in 500 visa and straight away there's a different sectors anyway, but let's put in higher education because they are some restriction on other ones, but just do a very common one here. And what we are looking here at this point of time here is that let's have a look. There's no maximum 3 months study. I don't think that's that's only for the 590 and others, but we are looking at this 8202 condition, which is going to be embedded on all the student visa holders. Let's have a read what that really actually meant. So the subject of this condition says meet course requirement, or basically is saying, are you a good student? That's basically what they very simple way to explain this. So you must remain enrolled in a registered course. So what does that mean? So if you come to Australia, obviously you get a student visa and you get your first the COE, the confirmation of enrollment. What if you forgot or you're not wanting to pay for the tuition later on? Obviously that will get you into not remain enrolled. And what's gonna happen is the university or the education institution is gonna report you to the immigration. So what will immigration do? Immigration will basically check on your status and go, oh wow, so basically you have breached the visa condition under 8202. They'll write to you with a notification intent to cancel your visa, and that will bear a lot of major consequences on your visa in the future. So don't do that. Now obviously you may have some reasons of such, for example, financial burdens and things like that. But look, you need to get that measured and prepare and plan it ahead before you actually come to Australia. You don't come to Australia, study, and while and mounting your fees and your earning income through your part-time jobs, that won't work. That won't work. And a lot of people do have that intent before they come to Australia. And nowadays, the visa structures does ban and does restrict those kind of visa applications. So if you have that kind of intent, usually the case officer, when you apply your first student visa, they will notify you, and they will be, through their big data collected over the past 10-20 years, they will know that will be your intent. And that's why a lot of people, they choose a very cheap courses, private colleges. They are really easily to be rejected or receiving a refusal of visa applications. So anyway, let's come back to this. So secondly, maintain enrollment. So obviously that's the same as above. So all of this first and second is the same. So make sure you enroll at the right courses. I mean, some people may come in with a student visa, and then they were first enroll into university A, and they thought, oh, let's not do this one, let's put that aside, let's study something else. So they try to be smart, and they enroll themselves into other kind of courses which might not be under the requirement of the visa. So they enroll something else, not a registered course under the Australian qualification framework. Then obviously your visa will be cancelled as well. Now the third part is very important. It says maintain satisfactory attendance in your course and course progression for each study period. Now this is one of the main things that I want to talk about. A lot of people thinks, well, I've paid the money and I come to Australia, so that's fine, I'll be fine, no problem, okay? But what if you have not provided you have a record of unsatisfactory attendance or course progress? What's gonna happen to you, man? Now that's another thing that I'm gonna talk about in this video, that you may bear a major consequences on that one too. So people they are people thinking about, well, look, I pay the tuition fee, I came into Australia with the right visa, so might as well just relax, let's just go to Gold Coast, let's just go to casino, let's just have some fun, the beach side with friend party and all that, forget about study. And at the end of the semester, you receive a very, very bad transcript or result, and that perhaps may trigger unsatisfactory course progress. What is that going to happen to you? Let's have a look. Now, I've picked Griffith University on this one as a sample. Now, generally, all universities and any other TAFE colleges, because this is within the framework of the Australian visa, so all institutions will have this. So let's have a look at this. This says academic standings. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that you just stand there. That means you need to stand firm. That's the meaning of that, academic standing. What is academic standing? Griffith University uses the term academic standing to describe. Now, knowing that, different uni or different institution may use different phrases or name, but they basically serve the same thing, same circumstances. Describe how well you perform academic study in the university. University assess student level, risk of maintain good academic standings using following color coding system. Well, whatever the coding system that they have, or whatever the satisfactory rating system they have. It's a similar stuff. So they have green, which is good academic standing, blue, low risk, amber, medium risk, and red, that's red alert. That's you gotta go. Okay, it says significant risk of maintaining good academic standing under consideration exclusion. Now that's very bad. That is the thing I wanted to talk about. What happened if you get excluded? So What is good academic standing? No, but I think that's pretty easy to understand. So you maintain at least GPA 3.5. Now 3.5 is quite low. If you want to be a good student, especially if you want to migrate, you better aim at above 4 or perhaps 6 or 7. Successfully complete 50% of your credit point. That means you pass the things. Okay, so let me jump into exclusion. Now let's have a read. What is exclusion? If your academic performance does not improve, you could eventually be excluded. How will that happen? That means perhaps you have failed a subject at least twice, perhaps 3 times. That or your GPA is so low that the university cannot stand any further anymore. Okay, so the student may be eligible exclusion if they have GPA less than 3.5. And one of them current academic career failed the same courses 3 times. That's exactly what I just said. Fail one or more designated courses. Okay, now let's talk about this. What that gonna happen is you will be excluded. You have a record of exclusion that actually will restrict you by applying a lot of other university or institutions as well. Why? Because that's just basically you got name tag on top of your head saying I'm a bad student. So what that gonna happen is the next visa that you're gonna apply, as long as it's a student visa, it is very likely your visa will be rejected. Now obviously another institution or university would not like this kind of student because first of all, it's waste of their effort and time to process your application to get you enrolled, because they knowingly your visa might not go through. And why would the university staff spending time and money helping you to get enrolled and knowing that they're gonna return and withdraw everything and refund all the money back to you? So they might not even be willing to help you out. So you got to be very firm not to get you into that kind of situation. So what are you going to do if you have no notice that a course that you had chosen perhaps doesn't suit you, or perhaps academically you just cannot get there? Okay, you will know that straight away at your first semester. What you're gonna do is you need to seek transfer of your academic career or pathway, perhaps to other courses or to other institutions before you get identified or before you get excluded. That is very important, because once you get excluded, you're gone. It is very, very hard for you to come back, or very, very hard for you to actually get another student visa to coming back, and which is very bad. And your academic performance will affect you lifetime, because whatever you take that and you go, look, I'm not interested about Australia anymore. Let's go to Canada. Now, any university around the world, they will request your past performance for sure. They need to know your background. Okay, so if they request your background or your past performance, and there has been exclusion of such record in your lifetime, I don't think any university is likely going to take you. So it's got to be very, very important. I'm here just to say that, look, there's time for students to enjoy and have fun, but don't overdoses. Okay, once you hit that circumstances, it's very hard to go back. Now let's come back a little bit to be more preventative. So what's gonna happen is that if you have identified that your academic performance was not good, or perhaps this university is a little bit too hard for you, you cannot stand anymore, you just cannot perform academically, what you got to do is you got to do a transfer release, meaning that because your current visa, student visa, is actually connected to this university which offer you at the first place. So how the international student need to do is they need to transfer themselves and request a transfer release. So that transfer release will allow you to actually get disconnected from this university with your current visa and then reconnect it to another institution or for another courses, so that everything can be above board, will not jeopardize your visa, and avoid to be excluded. Okay, so how do you transfer? Now, again, every university have their own policy, but they are similar. Today's video, we're taking Griffith University as a guideline, as a sample for everybody. So, okay, so how to apply? Less than 6 months of study. If you have completed less than 6 months of study, make appointment of international student advisor to find out if you are eligible to transfer. Prepare the required documents. So what are those required documents? Basically, you need to sort perhaps an education agent to find another course or another university which is fine to offer you additional or another new courses. Then you take that offer to the university to seek for release. Obviously, it's a very technical procedure. Now, you might be able to do it DIY, do it yourself, but because the technicality involved, it's best to have a professional to help you out, because if that transfer was not done correctly, it might come back and bite you. I've seen students, what happened is that they transfer from University A to University B, but they did not do it properly. So somehow their enrollment status is still connected back with the University A, and because we have seen the academic standing thing, and University A started to process his academic performance and exclude him or her while he's already enrolled into another University B. So what's gonna happen is, once that's done, the University A will still report that person to immigration. So while he has successfully enrolled into another uni, he still got reported, and at half of his academic term or semesters, his visa get cancelled. So it's actually very technical, and you got to be professionally done, professionally released from the original university. Make sure you keep all these communication records in place, so if things do happen like this, you don't want that to actually jeopardize all your career and perhaps your future migration pathway in Australia. Anyway, this is a very short video. I give you a little bit of what's gonna happen, and what if you wanted to change courses, and what is you need to look out while you're an international student to prevent yourself being excluded and prevent yourself as visa being cancelled. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below. I see you next video. Goodbye.